For the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, laziness as a case study will always lead to poverty, even if you are anointed. Laziness will always lead to poverty. I'm sorry to say there are preachers who are lazy, always resting for doing nothing, always resting for doing nothing. There are business people who are lazy. You open your shop by 12 and close it 5 p.m. for fellowship. Nothing wrong with the fellowship, but you are going to be poor because you are not taking your work seriously. Are we together? Have you seen people like that? Customers come and knock, they wake them from sleep. We want to buy the crate of minerals and the people yawn and say, why now? Yeah, it's too early, 8:30. No, sir. No, sir. Listen, let me tell you, whether you've heard me tell you, whether you serve God or serve Satan, the one thing both of them will not tolerate is laziness. Whether it's God you serve or Satan. In case you don't love God and you go to Satan, you will still work hard. At least the one thing we know that both God and Satan agree on is that lazy people have no future. Whether you work for the dark kingdom, you will still not be promoted. Are we together? I've had back-to-back travels. By this morning I was in Lagos for a conference. I returned back. I'm still standing. There are many young people behaving as if they are 70 years. Let me tell you the truth. The Bible says I must walk the works of him. After the oil comes on your head, use your hand, walk. Let me speak to every gentleman in Koinonia here. Listen, before you clap, my dear people, you know I'm for you, eh? Gentlemen, walk. Monday morning, tomorrow, don't wake up and you are snoring and stretching and saying I'm anointed. Get up and walk. What work do I do? Read if you don't have a job. Learn from those who know what they are doing. Pray, prepare. Go and find some place to intern while you are waiting. But by all means, fight laziness. Carrying certificates, wearing suits and saying I'm a graduate. Thank God for that. Be gainfully employed. If a job does not come, make zobo, make something, make donut. I will pray for you. Make it. If one door closes, cry for a few minutes and force another one to open. That's the mindset of champions. Don't sit down telling us what happened last year. You are not the only one who went through it. We're all in Nigeria here. Flimsy excuses you find people make. Oh, you know the way it is, our job. You've been hearing what is going around. We all had it. You are not the only one who was affected. The spirit of laziness, I curse it from your life. Please take seriously what I'm saying. I curse it from your life. Go and learn tailoring if you cannot do anything. Go and learn to be an apprentice somewhere. And don't meet somebody to help you at your own terms. When you are in need, adaptation is proof of honor. Don't meet someone greater than you and say we are colleagues. No, there's no colleague mentality in the world of growth and knowledge and wealth. Are we together? When you want to learn from the person who is ahead of you, humble yourself, receive instructions and learn. There are many arrogant people who want to be wealthy at their own terms. They want to be great at their own terms. Oh, I hear that there's a store and you're looking for a foreman. Well, I can manage around. How much do you have? The man does not have anything. He sits down there and is embarrassed. Customers come, he cannot stand up to greet them because the person he's seeing is his classmate. So what? Let the classmate see you so that when God lifts you, he will know that you did not walk your way by manipulation. Are we together? The man who does not have and is too big to receive and too big to learn is the one who will remain in that condition forever. I tell you, if I did not succeed with my life as a man of God, I will humble myself Even if it's somebody I raised, I will humble myself and learn. It does not kill. It's better to humble yourself and learn and grow. Which one is more embarrassing? To learn earlier and bail yourself out, or to stand in pride and then you find out everybody has gone and left you alone there? Our generation is an arrogant generation. No results, and yet everybody is everybody's colleague. This colleague mentality. We are colleagues to fathers, we are colleagues to senior mentors, we are colleagues to people with potent, undeniable results. No learning, no humility to learn. Tonight's teaching is hard. Don't worry, it's out of love. This is how to prosper you. You don't prosper people by massaging their back. You give them a push. Are we together? Some of you have been pampered since they gave birth to you. That's why God sent me to your life, to give you another side of how people make it. Nobody will come and say, you know, please be serious with you. It doesn't work that way, sir. It doesn't work that way. In life, you force your portion to come to you. Did you hear what I said? You force your portion to come to you. Many people today continue to go to their grave in pain, dying of heart attack and dying of all kinds of things because of economic hardship. From malnutrition in the northeast and across the north here in Nigeria, to all versions of things. You find people who cannot go to school because of 10,000, 5,000, 20,000, and we are here jumping in the church saying we are the light of the world. We are jumping and saying we are the salt of the earth. And when the world says we are lying, we try to fight them. Where is the proof? If you are a witness, there has to be an evidence. Can I tell you the truth? The evidence is not 30 cars. The evidence is not infinite mansions scattered around. The evidence is not billions piling up in a bank account. No, that is not the evidence. The evidence is not demanding respect on account of your economic pedigree. No, this is not what God taught us. We are ambassadors. So please join me and let's explore the principles of the kingdom. Now that we have been able to set this foundation, why does God want us to prosper? Let me just start from there. We have to answer the question why. Why gives purpose and perspective to everything. If we do not know why God blesses us in the kingdom and why he so desires to give us the power to get wealth, the power to prosper, there will keep being casualties from people who are blessed. There are many people who started in church today, they are not in church. They started loving God. The moment they became economically comfortable, they threw God away, threw everything godliness away. So why does God bless us? Tonight I'll introduce everybody to a bit of what we learn in our school of ministry. My dear people, school of ministry, please allow me as I take a few extracts from your course content. This is God speaking. Number one, the first reason why God blesses us in this kingdom is that he desires for us to live a comfortable life. Anything that rejects that statement is demonic. If there is anything in your spirit trying to fight what I just said, I want you to know that is the voice of the devil. God desires for us to live a comfortable life. Now, economically speaking, there are four realms of living. Economically speaking, the first realm is called survival. It's a dangerous realm to be in. The second realm is called comfort. The third realm is called luxury. The last realm is called extravagance. Let me repeat myself one more time, please. That economically speaking, there are four realms of living. The first realm is called survival. A realm of poverty, lack, insufficiency, always worrying about money, stealing, manipulating, doing all kinds of things. Then there is the realm of comfort, where your needs are met without options. Then there is the realm of luxury. Then there is the realm of extravagance. Now, we are kingdom people, so our communication is from a kingdom perspective. The lowest realm and that highest realm is not for you. We are not called to a life of survival, and we are not called to a life of extravagance. These two realms are dangerous. If you find yourself in a realm of survival, fight it like you fight Satan. When you find yourself in a realm of extravagance, you are losing the consciousness of your stewardship. The allowance for the believer is the realm of comfort and at best luxury. When you go through storms, you lose many things and it brings you pain. Can I tell you, losing truly brings pain. There are people who have lost loved ones. There are people who have lost offices. There are people who have lost things. There are people who have lost opportunities. There are people who have lost relationships. There are people who have lost certain access, certain doors. It brings a lot of pain. I know someone who, true story, the person had an accident and he had to quickly come out, but the car was damaged. The gas was already leaking and he watched his car burn. There was nothing he could do. There was no way, there was no use trying to stop it. He stood there, he was safe, just a few bruises, but he watched the car burn right in front of him, and all that was left was just the metals there. Everything. He left home with a healthy car, happy, smiling, and by noon, it was just the carcass of that car that was left there. Have you lost something in your life? Then you understand what pain is about. Hallelujah. Yes, sir. There are people who have lost loved ones. It's taken them years. There are people who have lost opportunities. How about jobs? I remember someone who sent me a text. They received a letter rejoicing, and then they got another letter again saying for whatever reason that initial letter had been terminated. They are reviewing things within the office. Can you imagine? After planning, preparing to travel abroad, rejoicing that a miracle has come, a good salary structure, you've started planning in your mind, oh, with this money my children will go to this. Suddenly another mail comes. This is why the Lord brought you tonight. I want to show you what to do with storms. Storms, for many of us here tonight, whilst you are listening to me, it has affected your vision. You were once a visionary man. You were once a visionary woman. With precision, you could discuss any matter as far as purpose and destiny is concerned. You knew where you were going, but storms just arose and it beclouded your vision. Now you have no idea. For some of you, you came here for Koinonia, for this miracle service, and your first prayer request is to at least find a bearing. Do you know that storms sometimes can so affect you, you do not even know where in the sea you are. You don't know, you cannot find your way. You will need God to help you by use of a compass to even locate where you are within the sea. Some of us are rigmaroling around destiny. We've not been able to get our bearing, not because you're careless, not because you're unspiritual. It's just the reality of storms. They have arisen and distracted your sense of vision. How about visibility? Only God knows how many people would have located you by now, and you would have used the leverage of their relationship, and it would have accelerated your path towards destiny. Except that storms became so hazy, they passed you and did not know you needed their help. Hallelujah. Is God speaking to us? Yeah. It is a terrible thing to shout for help and not have anyone help you, simply because the noise of the storm is louder than the noise of your voice. You're shouting for help and yet people cannot hear you, or you are speaking and they cannot hear you. Maybe there's a man of God here I'm speaking to. You have been speaking the counsel of God. You are sincere, uncompromised, with integrity, loving the Lord. Perhaps you are a businessman doing business with the dignity of integrity. Perhaps you are a family person running your home the best that you know and the best that you can, except that the voice, the sound of the wind and the waves has so overwhelmed the sound of your efforts, such that the best that you do cannot even be seen relative to the sound of the storm. And then for many people, you've been moving like a snail, moving like a tortoise as far as destiny is concerned, because it has so impeded your pace. When you started, you were firing on all 4 cylinders, and based on your plan, certain things in destiny should have actualized, but storms arose, and now it's limited your impact in business, in family, in ministry. You seem to just be crawling, barely getting by. Why am I telling you all this? Because the one who calmed the storm is in this place tonight. I'm announcing to you, not just to remind you of the things you already know that the storms have done. I'm about to introduce him shortly. But let's appreciate the fact that the storms have done damage to people, so that when he shows up, the he being Jesus, you will appreciate that which he brings, and you will watch with shock and wonder as he tells the storm, Shalom, be still. This is why you came here tonight. If you do not know what the storms have done, when Jesus shows up, you may be careless about receiving from him. Sometimes it's good to let you see what situations through storms have done to you, so that your heart can be open. You can say, thou son of David, have mercy upon me. Many of you are living in fear. Do you know it's a terrible thing to live in fear? You cannot. Fear erodes your sense of joy, your sense of peace. There is no optimism. Your life is stagnated, stunted. There's nothing drives you. There are people who, as young as they are, there is no passion, no zest, no zeal, nothing at all. You discuss anything about life, they are not interested. Why? Because some storm have arisen. If someone, respectfully speaking, who has, say, stage 4 cancer, and you come and you're speaking with the person, you tell the person, listen, we have an estate project, and right now we're going to build an estate. While you are talking, the person will just be looking at you, because the doctor has told the person you are 2 weeks left by the normal medical calculation. And here you are as a sincere business partner, charging that person and saying we'll do great things. Or perhaps as a man of God, you're saying we'll go to the nations, and that person is telling you, listen, I have just 2 weeks to live except a miracle happens. Your vision deflated. You live perpetually in fear, perpetually in fear, perpetually in fear. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, you lift my head. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, the lifter up of my head. The psalmist had his own fear. He was compassed round about many times. That man fought many battles. The psalmist was not just a king, he was not just a worshiper. The psalmist was a warrior. He fought so many battles to a point that when it was in his heart to build God a house, God said, it's a good thing, however your hands have shed too much blood. I will not allow you with the same hand to build me a temple. And he gathered the material together to allow his son Solomon to build the temple. The temple would have been built by David, but David lived a life fighting enemies. Everybody hated him left, right and center. Right from when he was a teenager, David enjoyed the presence of God, but one thing he was not free from a long time was wars and enmities. There were enemies everywhere. He had to write Psalm 3. He said, many are they that rise up against me. He says, many are they that say, where is your help? He says, there is no help for him in God. This was not a song, this was a testimony. And there are many of us who are like David. You leave Lagos to Abuja, there is another set of attack waiting for you. You relocate to UK, 2 weeks you run back, because the trouble there, the one here looks better to solve. All kinds of problems. He says, many, not few, are they that rise up against me. And there are people saying there is no help for him again. He says, I lay me down and I slept, to a point that sleeping was a problem. How many people cannot sleep now because you are afraid of the call that wakes you? Could it be the call of a bad news? Could it be the call that someone is there, you finally lost, you are waiting for a court verdict, you do not even know if there are people who are working but they don't know how old or how much time they have working as free men, because there is some court verdict somewhere and any moment the verdict may come, and if it comes against you, you may spend decades in the prison. It's a terrible thing to live in fear. Some of you have come tonight with medical reports, as I said, to come with your prayer requests and your points of contact. Others were coming with land certificates, but there are people who have come with a death sentence, lifting it before God and say, Lord, show me mercy, and like Hezekiah, extend my life. I announce to you again, there is he that can calm the storm.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.